Hey, everybody, welcome back to A Late Show. Before we go any further, please say hello to our friend John Baptiste.
Hello, everybody. What's happening? What's happening?
John, I like your new digs. Are you able to play with other people, or can you only play by yourself right now?
Well, I can play by myself, but with technology, I can double or triple myself as many times as I want.
Yeah, I saw Keith Urban do that on Saturday night.
Yeah, I saw you on there. That was nice. That
Yeah, it
was
was a
really
lovely night. It was a lovely night.
yeah, and I like to see the Rolling Stones. I don't know how they made that work. They were in
Oh,
different places.
it was so great.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure if Keith was playing.
Really? You think he was faking it?
He was mostly just kind of petting it. Keith was mostly just petting the guitar.
I
And
heard the
and
sound.
Charlie Watts definitely wasn't playing.
No. He was like air drum. It was like
Yeah.
the cymbal was sounding, but there was no
Yeah.
cymbal.
I'm guessing what he did was he played the drums first and everybody played on top of him.
I think Mick actually recorded first, if I'm not mistaken, because he was actually playing and singing. It seemed like
Right.
everybody else recorded to his video.
Okay. All
That's
right.
that's what
I'll
that's the
ask him.
times we're living in.
I'll ask him the next time I see him. Well, John, good luck. Good luck in your splendid isolation.
Yes, indeed. I'll be here.
All right. I'll be here. Say hi to the 88s for us. John Baptiste, everybody. Joining me tonight is the host of The Daily Show, which is currently the daily social distancing show on Comedy Central. Please welcome our friend, Trevor Noah. Trevor, it's good to see you.
What's going
How
on,
are
Stephen
you?
Colbert?
Oh,
I
just doing a show like you.
just attempting to do a show is what we're doing. That's what this is. In many ways,
That's right.
I felt bad about the situation we were in until I saw NASCAR drivers losing their minds because driving virtually wasn't what they were used to in real life. And then I was like, oh yeah, okay, so I guess I'm not the only one who's losing my mind trying to do what I do in this environment.
It is one of the craziest things about this is that you're going through this very odd, isolated experience. And because it is an isolated experience, you're not actually aware all the time that every person is going through the same isolated experience. I mean, you know it intellectually,
Yes.
but just because of the nature of it, you don't get to see it happening to other people most of the time.
Right. And I think what's weird is because social media has always been a faux social experience, social media gives you the idea that nothing has really changed when in fact everything has changed. So it's only when I'll go out for a walk and see like New York City like I've never seen it before that I realize like the time we're living in. Because a lot of the time online, people are still doing viral challenges the same, people are still fighting the same, everything seems the same, but man, we're living in a different world.
Have you learned anything about yourself while you've been in quarantine? Like,
What have I learned about myself? I'll be honest, man. I feel like I'm made for social distancing. Some of my friends are going crazy because they miss being outdoors. I don't miss outdoors. I don't miss going to the movies. I don't miss going to restaurants. I don't miss going to the clubs. I don't miss walk. I don't miss anything. I'm not gonna lie to you. I miss people being able to live their normal lives. I miss living in a world where people have the time to fight about other things and are not stressed about just being able to go outside. So that part of it I miss. But no, for myself, I'm not gonna lie to you, Stephen. I feel like I was made for this. This is how I wish I could live life. Being forced to stay indoors and not being made to feel guilty every time I don't want to leave because it's a beautiful day. Because people always do that. It's so beautiful. Why don't you go outside? And then I'm like, yeah, I want to be inside. And now I have to be inside, and I'm in heaven. I'm not going to lie to you.
we're entering month 2
Yes.
of doing the show from home.
Mm-hmm.
How are you maintaining like your judgment in your head as to how to do material? Because you and I both are used to performing in front of live audiences. Is that how I came up? I know you're a stand-up, and like we're like musicians. The audience is the instrument. Right now, we're just being asked to read sheet music in our head, and we never get to hear any reaction. What's that doing to you?
I feel like one of two things will happen. Either I will come out on the other side of this as a better comedian, or I will have no sense of where comedic timing lies, and I will just embark on an esoteric journey of telling people stories when I'm on stage. Because I'm not going to lie to you, I don't know. I try to remember every audience I've had the privilege of performing for the last like 15 years, and I try and think of where they would laugh, but I don't know. I don't know. I
I
cannot lie
thought
to
I
you and
did it
tell you I don't
first.
know.
I thought I knew it first, but then after you do it for a month, you're going, wait a second, is that, how would you say, how would you
Yes.
say that line? How would you, what is, should you really pause there? But there's nobody laughing. Why am I pausing? But all
Yes.
the rhythm makes you want to pause.
Well, there's no nothing. It's like imagine doing this Zoom call by yourself. That's what this performing just to a camera would be the equivalent of.
Let's talk about the news a little bit, okay? Mr. Fake News. Let's talk about this for a second. So Biden is now going to be the nominee. I know
Yes.
you have a Bernie. Do you have a Biden?
I don't have a Biden.
It's hard.
I don't have a Biden. Biden doesn't have like a hook. He doesn't have a hook, and he's not consistent in his speech patterns. Like Bernie has a specific rhythm when he speaks and his actions. You know, even Obama has a specific rhythm and actions. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty
This
good
is
Bernie.
it. This is the only. This,
I mean, that's a pretty good Biden. Yeah.
only I have. I'm white. I have big teeth, and I have sunglasses. Hey, man. Look,
I actually think that's a pretty good Biden.
you thought you were one of the few people that I know back in 2016 was like, no, Trump's got a good shot at winning this. What do you think now? Like where we are right now?
I don't think anything now. Before coronavirus, I thought Trump had a good shot of winning again because A, the Democrats didn't seem to be able to get anything together, and B, like the economy was great. And I always said to people from the beginning, Trump's leadership had never been tested. People forget every single issue or every single scandal his administration has faced has been something that's been self-imposed, right? So every crisis has been something they've created for themselves. I would always say to my friends, I do not want to see what happens when Trump has to fix something that he didn't break. And whether you like him or not, you have to admit he didn't create coronavirus. Now his response to it is exposing his lack of leadership, and it's exposing, like, you know, the comical cast of characters that he has with him in the White House. And I think that's going to be something that might hurt him is when the dust settles and people start to go through what the administration could have done, didn't do, ignored, etc. As much as he tries to pass the buck, you're still the president. And when people have lost loved ones, have lost their jobs, are struggling, that's when people are a lot less forgiving of your, you know, the way you tweet or the way you slam people at press conferences. I think this could be a bigger test than he ever thought he would have before the election.
It appears to be the biggest test any president has faced, well, certainly since 9/11, if not World War II.
But have you noticed something interesting? Donald Trump may be the only president in the world, especially of a developing nation, who is fighting with people in his country right now, or even the press. If you look at most people in the world, if you look at most presidents, it's almost become a moment of like, it's us versus Corona.
Yes, like the aliens have landed on the planet.
Exactly.
Humanity has
and
to
I
combine.
always used to think if aliens landed, the whole world would come together. Whereas now I realize if aliens landed, it would be people versus the aliens who are trying to kill us. And then Donald Trump would have some weird side plot happening at the same time.
A side deal to get the aliens to stay at Mar-a-Lago.
It's ridiculous. I can't believe it's real life.
What are you guys doing at the Daily Show? I know you've been raising money for charitable causes. Who is it? What have you been doing?
Man, whatever we can. You know, I think that's one of the hardest aspects of reality we have to accept now is that the American government hasn't prepared itself for something like this. And in their defense, I don't know that you fully can prepare. Some countries have done better than others, especially when it comes to preparing to feed people, keeping people off unemployment, etc. And so what we're trying to do at the show is just give a platform to any organization that's helping with that. So Feeding America, I mean, they've jumped from needing to feed, I think it was somewhere in the region of like 40 million people, and now it's like going to be 50, 60 million people, which is ridiculous. People who don't have meals every day. You know, we've been working with No Kid Hungry, who have been working to get kids meals because their schools have been shut down. We've been working with Jennifer Garner's reading program as well to just help get kids, you know, some form of reading or entertainment or anything while their parents are struggling with them at home. And yeah, we've been teaming up with any organization we can just to try help them where they need it, because that's the only thing we can do right now. We're stuck at home, and if anyone can, they can donate. I always tell people just $1. Everyone just do $1, dollar. You'll be surprised at how much we can raise together. So that's what we're trying to do.
Trevor, we have to take a break, but everybody don't go away. We'll be right back with Trevor Noah.